So let's talk about a really tough marketing challenge. How do you actually sell something to an audience that's just bombarded with messages all day long? An audience that makes these huge, multi-million dollar decisions based on trust, not some flashy ad. Well, this is the story of how you reach the unreachable. And why are we even talking about this? Well, it all starts with this number, 25,000. That's how many tons of berries South Africa is projected to export this season. Just this season alone. We're not just talking about fruit here. This is a massive multi-million dollar industry, and it is absolutely exploding. One industry veteran put it perfectly. He said, the South African berry industry is on fire. But that fire is managed by a really specific, really savvy group of people. We're talking about the farmers, the technical directors, the agronomists. And if you're trying to sell to them, you figure out pretty fast that the old way of doing marketing just doesn't work. They are a unique challenge, for sure. Okay, so first up, let's get a handle on this berry boom in South Africa. All this incredible growth has created a super high-value audience, but it's also built up this wall of marketing noise that's almost impossible to break through. And all that noise creates what we can call the farmer engagement problem. The old playbook, the ads, the sales pitches, it's just not working anymore. Why? Because this audience is way too smart, and frankly, the stakes are way too high. So why is it failing? Well, today's farmers are practically drowning in information. The decisions they make can literally be the difference between a profitable year and a total loss. So they're not making impulse buys. They rely on deep, relevant data and, most importantly, on trust, not some slick sales pitch. Let's just look at the contrast here. It's pretty stark. On one side, you have traditional advertising. You get, a 3-second glance? It builds basically zero trust, and the message is super generic. But what a modern farmer actually needs is the complete opposite of that. They need a deep understanding of the product, proven results for their specific crop, and advice from a source they genuinely trust. So the big question is, how do you bridge that gap? How do you build that genuine trust? Well, the answer isn't to just shout louder. It's to go to the one place where the entire industry is already gathered and already listening. And that place is the Berries ZA Symposium. This isn't just another conference. As the source material describes it, this thing is the central nervous system of the entire industry. For 2 days, every single key player gets together here to tackle the sector's biggest challenges. It is the absolute epicenter of innovation. And who exactly is in that room? Well, you've got the CEOs and the directors, you have the top technical agronomists, the research scientists who are developing the next big thing, and the global export strategists. This is literally the entire industry's brain trust, all under one roof. But here's the thing, just being at the event isn't enough. The real key is to shift from just having a passive presence to creating active engagement. And this is where technology comes in and completely changes the game, turning a crowded room into a series of real, meaningful conversations. So, one of the coolest tools they used is something called AgriTalk. Now, instead of handing a busy farmer another brochure that they're just never going to read, this tool turns dense technical data into an engaging 10 to 15-minute audio discussion. It's hands-free education they can listen to in their truck or while they're out in the field. It's all about meeting them where they actually are. Then there's the next layer, an AI chatbot. It works in 3 really simple steps. First, it responds instantly. We're talking under 2 seconds to capture that interest right away. Second, it qualifies them by crop. Are they a blueberry farmer, a raspberry farmer? And third, it qualifies them by the size of their farm. So in just a few moments, a random attendee becomes a highly qualified lead. And here's the payoff when you look at attention. A passive ad, it gets a 3-second glance if you're lucky. But according to the IAB, interactive content like this, it commands 5 to 10 times more attention. You're literally shifting from a fleeting impression to a deep 15-minute engagement. It's a whole different world. But okay, all that attention is great, but does it actually lead to results? Well, the data for Forrester on this is crystal clear. Interactive strategies that really focus on what a user is actively interested in, their intent, can increase conversions by a massive 2.5 times. That is a total game changer. All right, so now let's connect all of this to real business results. Because, getting attention is nice, but this whole strategy is designed to do one thing: turn those impressions into actual qualified leads. This is what the source calls the 360-degree impact package. And it's not just one thing. It's this whole multi-layered approach that works together. You've got the full-page ad for visibility at the symposium itself, then an editorial feature to build that crucial credibility. You've got the AI chatbot for instant lead qualification, and, of course, the AgriTalk audio for that deep, meaningful engagement. See how each piece builds on the others? It creates this really powerful effect. And the payoff for the business? It's huge. You get faster sales cycles because your customers are already educated. You get much higher quality leads because they're pre-qualified. You get a measurable ROI, which is always key. And you get this deep understanding of a customer's needs before you even pick up the phone. You're not just getting seen, you're starting a genuinely valuable business conversation. So yeah, this whole case study was about berry farmers, but it brings up a much bigger question, doesn't it? Is this combination, a super targeted live event plus smart interactive technology, is this the new blueprint for marketing? Could this be the key to reaching any specialized, hard-to-reach audience, no matter what industry they're in? What do you think?